Hi, I'm Mark,
And I'm Kevin.
and this is the Dad Pod. So tonight we have a special guest. We actually have
Me.
Say your name.
Evelyn.
Evelyn what?
I can't comment.
You can talk louder, it's okay.
So we have Evelyn, Kevin's daughter. We figured we have her on. We were gonna have my boy Jasper on, but he ended up staying the night over at his grandma's, and that is a-okay with us. But today we're gonna talk about movies. So
Media. We're
media,
gonna talk about
movies, TV shows,
Music.
and music. Evelyn, what's your favorite movie? Man, is it really that hard to think about?
Favorite movie?
I have to say Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. It was a pretty good movie.
I really liked it.
The second one wasn't too bad. I watched it online a bit.
Yeah.
I don't quite like the second one as much as I like the first one.
No, the second one wasn't as good, but it was still
mean-
a decent movie.
Honestly, when it comes down to the title, it's Ralph breaks the internet. It should be wrecks the internet. Ralph wrecks the internet.
You're right. It should be, but it's not. I think for my favorite movie, it would have to be. Oh God, I'd have to go pretty old school with it. The Dark Crystal
Oh,
would be one of my favorites. One of my all-time favorites. Ghostbusters probably tops the charts for everything, though.
Ghostbusters.
I can pretty much quote that movie line for line.
She probably can too.
Not yet.
Not
She
yet,
hasn't.
but she's getting close.
She hasn't seen it that many times. She's probably seen it once or twice, right?
Yeah. I've seen all of them though.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them. I thought there were 3.
Well, technically there are 3 because there's one with all girls, but that was a remake and it wasn't as good.
And not many people like that one.
I think all the girls like that one.
Who
Bree,
knows?
Bree didn't like it.
Well, mostly all of the girls.
Maybe.
What about you? Favorite movie?
All-time favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption.
Good movie.
Yeah, this and then in my top 3: Shawshank Redemption, Groundhog Day,
Also a good movie.
because you can't go wrong with Groundhog Day.
You can't go wrong with Bill Murray, honestly.
Yeah, and then not a very well-known movie is it's a Will Ferrell movie, and usually when you think of Will Ferrell, you
Stranger
think,
Than Fiction, isn't it?
yes. When you think Will Ferrell, you usually think something of his comedy.
It's weird that my mind instantly jumped to that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but that's probably because I also prefaced it with "you don't think of what."
Well, I mean, that's actually the first movie that he's in that jumps to my mind.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is kind of weird because, I mean, after that initial, he's in that movie. It's suddenly Step Brothers and all kinds of other movies that I've seen him
Like
in.
everything that he has been in has been stupid comedy, because that's where he started. That's where he always started.
And I will say he's damn good at it.
But he's a really good actor. Not everybody sees that because I don't think they've seen Stranger Than Fiction.
Probably true.
Yeah.
Evelyn, you watch a lot of TV shows.
I know.
What's your top 3 favorites?
I have to say Pokemon,
That's a good one.
Stranger Things,
Ooh, wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah.
and
I think she needs some help.
Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Oh, your dad showed me an episode of that, and I really liked it.
I've seen all 4 seasons.
She really likes it. She got into that. How did you get into that one? Who showed you that one?
Allison.
Yeah. You can talk more, it's okay.
I know.
Which Pokemon's your favorite?
Pikachu.
That's everyone's favorite.
Pikachu.
I'd have to go with Mew myself.
Mew's a good Pokemon. Honestly, Haunter. Haunter's my favorite.
I could see Hunter being a pretty decent favorite.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why, but I absolutely love him. Like, his whole character design and everything. You don't see that in very many Pokemon.
That's true.
And then the ones that are in the newer gens that do kind of have similar designs like that, they don't look that great.
No. How about you? I'm sure you've seen your fair share of TV shows.
I mean, yeah. Especially with like Netflix and Hulu out these days, there's a lot of shows that you can really catch up on and binge watch, which is bad for your health, but great for your,
Enjoyment.
enjoyment.
So, what's your top 3?
Honestly, me and Bree just finished out Stranger Things not too long ago, and I've been like overly obsessed with that. So that's got to be in the top 3. I'm not going to be able to say 1, 2, and 3 on these, but
That's understandable. I wouldn't be able to order mine either.
that's one of them. Breaking Bad is another, and Dexter.
Okay, so oddly enough, those are the exact same 3 I picked.
And one of them is the one I picked.
Yeah, one
Yes.
of them is. And Stranger Things is a very, very good show. Who's your favorite character on Stranger Things?
Probably the one with mind control.
With what?
The mind control.
You mean
Oh.
mind powers? You like 11?
Yeah.
I like Dustin.
He's the one that set free the thing.
Honestly, I like Hopper.
Yeah, I like Hopper too.
I think he was a great character. I love the way he started off strong and ended up being that concerned dad.
But you picked the character that unleashed the thing that was mind sucking people.
What are you talking about?
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Dustin?
Hopper didn't do that.
No,
Yeah.
she's talking about me, Dustin.
I mean,
He did unleash
the demi-dog.
the demi-dog, and then they
But he
unleashed.
also trained the demigod to like
Sort
the
of.
Musketeers.
And then I think they created the beginning of the. I think they infected the rats.
No, that was the Mind Flayer.
That was the Mind Flayer.
The really big bad. Yeah,
That
Pretty much. pretty much. Yeah, just like that.
One of my favorite TV shows used to be The Walking Dead. It has taken a really, really deep dive into not even close to being one of my favorites anymore.
Honestly, I was really into it right up until the whole situation where it became Survivor against Survivor. I mean, I watched past the prison where the governor came in and all that. After that, I kind of was losing interest when Negan came in. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Negan's a great character.
the Negan reveal. In fact, the actor himself,
Jeffrey Dean
Jeffrey
Morgan.
Dean Morgan, love him. Everybody knows him from Supernatural's Bane Dad, but his big reveal was amazing. It was one of the highlights of television.
It was. And then after that, I was just like, I'm
That was
really
it.
not just that interested in this anymore.
It's like when you get hyped up for something and
But
then
see-
it's not that great.
They brought the Whispers in.
Yeah,
In this
I-
new season, which sounds real exciting, but I haven't really looked into it at all, so I don't know if they've done it well. I don't know anything about that really.
You know what I find interesting about Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and who was it who plays Maggie? Do you remember her name?
That is, shoot. Hold on, I know this. Why can't I remember her name?
Yeah, it'll come back to you later. But her and Jeffrey
All I can
Dean
think of
Morgan.
her name is Supernatural right now.
But they played the Waynes, the parents of Batman, in one of the movies.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and I'd really like to see a movie with them in it where they play the Flashpoint Paradox versions of Martha, and I can't even remember the dad's name.
I can't do that.
But because like the Flashpoint Paradox versions of those, they're Batman and Joker.
Huh.
Yeah, he ends up playing Batman. She's Joker.
Wow.
Because of however what ended up happening, I guess in the Flashpoint version of it was Bruce ended up dying
Oh
in the
yeah.
alley instead, which turned them crazy, basically.
Understandable.
Yeah.
You. Why do you like Star so much?
No idea.
You have no idea?
Yeah.
Think about it. Why do you like it so much? It's one of your favorite shows. Why do you like it?
It's just good.
Yeah.
Just good.
I don't know why I like
Who's your favorite character on it?
it.
Star. So the main character.
Oh yeah?
Why is that?
Because she's like me.
She's like you.
Yeah.
Is she annoying?
Mm, yes, she's very.
I guess that makes sense then.
And she likes corn, huh? You listen to a lot of music?
Mm, yes.
Yeah? What's your favorite song?
Hello from the other side, Disney voices.
Disney voices.
Yeah. There's a regular one that
By
a girl.
Adele.
And then there's
the other side.
then
Oh,
there's
and
the
then
Disney
Disney voices. Okay, the guy ends up doing it with the Disney voices. I've seen that. He ends up using Goofy and stuff like that.
I'm Ricky.
Oh boy.
What else? You got any others?
No.
No? No other favorites?
Nope.
Just that one song. That's so.
That's it?
If you had to listen to one song for the rest of your real life on repeat, that'd be the song.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. What about you? What's your favorite song?
You don't want to ask me that.
No, you gotta pick one song.
song.
One song. You
One.
have to pick.
One of those. If I had to listen to it from the beginning of my life to the end of my life for the rest of my life, that kind of thing.
Yep.
There is too many to choose from, and that is the problem.
Gun
That's a
to your
big
family's
problem.
head, you have to pick.
It would be a toss-up, okay? Between 3 songs, all of which Dave Grohl are in.
Of course.
I'm a huge fan of everything that he sticks his fingers into. So there's 2 songs by Queens of the Stone Age. Was that a piece of spaghetti in her hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
It matched the color of her hair. How did you see it? There's another piece in there. I didn't even see it. Props to Dad, man.
Goofball. I don't know how you managed to get spaghetti in your hair.
I
Um,
know.
Anyways.
Everlong.
Everlong. That's a good Foo Fighters song.
That is. I mean, I'm pretty sure is one of the hands down one of the best songs that they've ever come out with.
I could see that.
And I'm not even sure if that was part of the first album because the
It was the
entirety
second.
the entirety of the first album that Foo Fighters did, I say, is Foo Fighters, but it was just a Foo Fighter. It was just Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
That entire album is just Dave Grohl. And then past that, he ended up getting members into the band and everything. But something about it is it like really hits you hard, right there, just right there in the chest.
Understandable.
And then the two Queens of the Stone Age, I can't remember the dang. No, I'll narrow it down to one from the Queens of the Stone Age. There's I have to actually think about it real hard.
Careful, don't get us struck. Copyright struck.
I'm doing it with my mouth.
Sometimes they don't care.
Yeah, I know. That's like, I think that's probably why it would be it, because I can just think of the music. It's just amazing.
Right.
Like, it's like a huge orchestra, but it's not an orchestra. It's literally just part of the band doing it, and it all boils down to Dave Grohl and those drums, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Attached it to my hair.
So, what about you?
Honestly, my favorite song is from a game. From Final Fantasy VIII. Can you name that song?
I know it. It's One Winged.
Nope.
No,
That's 7.
that's 7. No, I don't know this one then.
Look at
It's Eyes on Me by Faye Wong. And it actually plays a lot in the game. A lot of people don't realize it.
Oh, that makes it a good song. If you can play a song in the background, just about anything, and it go kind of unnoticed because it blends into the cinematics and everything just that well.
Yeah.
Then it's a good song.
As a matter of fact, and Allison will have to verify this for me because I can't quite remember if it's right. I'm pretty sure, though, that a slightly modified version of that song is actually Renoa's theme song. But I can't quite remember if that's correct or not. Fairly certain it is, though. And I just love the song so much. It actually plays the song when you're in space on the airship.
What are you doing?
I know.
Oh, you're gonna be coloring. Okay.
I guess she's losing interest.
well, we're done.
Fine. Gosh.
Are we not entertaining enough for you?
Are you not entertained?
Probably not.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's not too fun when you just sit in there and listen to two adults talk about random stuff.
That's true.
Unless you're another adult talking about random stuff with that adult. Or listening to a podcast while sitting in your room. It was kind of meta, isn't it?
Yeah. A little bit.
Hello, people listening to the podcast. Maybe you're in the car. Maybe. Just maybe you're sitting in your room.
Maybe you're outside. Who knows?
I don't, that's for sure.
I don't know. I don't even know our, core group of subscribers yet.
People.
Generally.
Just people.
Yeah.
Not peephole. People.
We seem to be getting a few now,
Yeah.
which is not bad. Hopefully that'll keep continuing to rise.
So with all these streaming services coming up, like, I mean, obviously you had the start with Hulu and Netflix, and now it's expanded. We have things coming out like not Netflix,
Vudu and
there's like all these different cable services that they're kind of cheap. They range from $25 to like $40 for full-on cable channels without having to actually get cable and just use the internet service that you use.
right.
On top of that, you have like Disney Plus, I think Fox Fox goes through Hulu. There's a few out there. I know, like DC's gonna have one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've got a lot of content. I say going to have. I'm pretty sure all of these services that have been talked about here in the last few years are already out. But like I'm just so gung ho on Netflix and Hulu. I don't really see the need to get anything else. I was thinking about it today.
Well, see, that's the thing. These days, it's just there's no money in it anymore because it's so readily available. There's just so many different sites you can go to anymore.
Right.
Nowadays, people are like, I don't want this. I'm just gonna go pirate again.
Yeah.
Back to the old school, you know.
Which I've never done. Just never pirated anything.
Yeah, I totally never illegally downloaded movies and watched them on my laptop or whatever. That would be completely irresponsible. And
I don't have an awesome media setup in my living room where I've illegally downloaded every single Harry Potter movie. What are you talking about?
I totally don't have an old flash drive or 4 or 5 with about 72 movies on them. Not at all, no.
Half of which I did not contribute to you.
Right. You didn't help at all because they don't exist.
Yeah, no, not at all.
You have it all.
I don't know what you're talking about, Evelyn. I do not.
I have seen it.
She's gonna throw us under the bus.
Yes, she is. On the topic of movies, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, or if you... Did I ever show you my little notebook? My Stephen King calendar notebook.
Calendar notebook? No.
It was originally intended as a calendar. It has days and everything on it. And when you flip through it, it's like months and all that, yada yada.
Okay, gotcha.
It just gives you plenty of space to write stuff down, you know? And, I chose, instead of using it as a calendar, I started, and basically every single zombie movie since the start of zombie movies has been written in this up to 2007.
I think you told me about it. It was something that you were working on basically, and every year that you were going about it, you were adding new movies that were coming out that were zombie based.
Yep. I got up to 2007 and I couldn't keep up. Zombies really exploded then.
Because everybody was wanting them.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted them. So much so that we even started writing a book.
Oh no, that was...
I say that like we started writing the book, I want to say 2005-ish, 2004-ish. It was, I know it was around then because it was
2005,
freshman
I think.
year. Freshman year, 2005.
It was right after the Christmas break when I had finished the original first copy.
And then, but that was right around the time when not necessarily did the zombies explode, but they were starting to become a more common occurrence.
Which, I remember that one Walking Dead episode where they went to the CDC. That annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah, and
Because that was exactly one of our ideas before they aired that.
And what was weirder about that though was like somebody was like, "Oh, so you got it from the Walking Dead comic then?" And I was like, "No, that's not in the comic."
Not only that, I wasn't aware of the comic at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I thought.
I was pretty big into zombies, but it was mostly movies. I never really actually actively looked for comic books or any of that sort.
Didn't you end up getting some sort of Walking Dead like big book with a bunch of the comics?
No. I see them in Barnes & Noble all the time, but I never really buy them. However, I did buy the first 2 comic books for Allison.
Okay.
I don't remember if that was for her birthday or if it was just a random present, Allison, let us know in the comments so that we know and I can remember.
Your memories for shit, and so is mine.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Alright, so we've talked about visual and audio media, but what about book media? I think hands down,
the slowly dying media.
one of the things that you have a huge fan base for is Stephen King, and that's like your whole family, isn't it?
Everyone, well, I can't speak for Brittany. I don't know what she's all about, but I know Mom and Dad love Stephen King. And actually, they got me started with him because Dad basically just told me, read this book. And it happened to be The Gunslinger.
And it slung you in.
And oh my lord, I did not expect to be pulled in so intensely. I ended up reading that entire series first, then I went back through and I'd read Carrie and It and all of that, and noticing all these tie-ins to The Dark Tower, and actually one of my favorite books by him is The Stand.
I've not read any of those. I have read Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Prison because I wanted to see the similarities between the movie and and that is a short story.
Yeah.
Amongst other short stories.
Was it a Bachman?
I can't remember. If it was under King or if it was under Bachman.
Because I know he has a few Bachman stories out there. One of which is another one of my favorites. It was, what was it called? I think it was called Rage.
I remember something about that.
And that was an interesting little short story. And it kind of brings to mind all these, school shootings and stuff. And it's just like, when did this happen versus when this book came out and all that? And I'm just, now that I think about it, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you can find a lot of parallels to literature and things that are going around in the world today.
That's true. I'm also very big into fantasy stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eragon, I read that, the whole Inheritance cycle, I guess they actually call it. It was meant to be a trilogy, but they turned it into 4, so they made it the cycle. Some Forgotten Realms, that's a D&D basically spin-off.
Which I love.
They were good books. Shoot. I'm trying to think what else. Because I know pretty much these days Stephen King dominates most of my library.
I've seen it. It does. There is I think you have 2 or 3 bookshelves in your room alone, don't you? And
they're around, yeah.
Just one all freaking shelf is filled with Stephen King books.
There's a space opera that I don't know how many people know about it or whatever. I find it fascinating though. It's called what is it? Can't remember the exact name, but it's basically the story of Owen Deathstalker. And it's actually rather interesting.
That sounds familiar.
You've
You've probably talked to me about it.
I've probably tried to get you into it, but you weren't very receptive.
I'm not a very big reader. It's not that I don't want to.
Nowadays I go audiobook. It makes it a lot easier with the busy schedule.
I can't even do that. I can't. The only time I get is at night anymore. Most of these podcasts that we record are somewhere between 10 to 2 in the morning.
That's true. That is true.
And it's on the weekends, and I have to still get up early in the morning to help out with the kids. It's a very hectic schedule sometimes.
Yeah, the kids are kind of taxing.
But it's okay. They're worth it. Aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. She scares me. I just want you to know that.
Oh, yeah, she can.
I scare a lot of people.
She's your daughter.
Yeah, I know. I love it. It's adorable.
Okay, so we've talked about your favorite books.
Yeah,
sort
pretty
of.
much.
We've talked about your favorite author, obviously.
Right.
And you said that your dad got you interested with Gunslinger. Is that your all-time favorite book, or do you have another one?
Honestly, for King, my all-time favorite book would either have to be The Stand or The Talisman.
Now, The Stand, that goes by... No, I'm thinking of Langoliers.
Right.
The movie is Langoliers, but the book is part of 4 short stories called 4 Past Midnight. I ended up getting that one at one point, but I don't remember if I actually read it.
Right, yeah. The Stand is about survivors of a...
Post-apocalyptic world.
Well, super flu
disease.
was released on the
Yep.
worldwide, and only about 1% of the world's population survived.
Yep.
Probably not even 1%.
Which was made into a TV movie of... 4
Well,
parts.
actually, it was a miniseries.
Miniseries, TV movie, whatever. 4 parts, man. 4 parts to me is like a
Well, that's why it's a miniseries.
miniseries, TV movie, whatever. They made one for the Dome too.
Oh, yeah, they did do a TV show for the Dome. That was an actual TV show, though.
Yeah, but it was still it was,
Under the Dome.
It was
actually what it is.
Under the Dome. It was
I read that book, too. It was pretty good.
it was considered a short series or miniseries when I remember watching
Really?
it. Yeah. I want to
It
say
had a good amount of episodes to it. I don't know why
I
they would consider it a
or
miniseries.
no, maybe not. I don't know. It was weird when I was watching it. That was a weird time for me.
Oh, well. But, yeah, that was not too bad a book / miniseries / show.
What was the Talisman about?
The Talisman is about a boy who has to go literally from one end of the country all the way to the other to get a talisman to restore his mother's health. And he's able to flip between worlds. It's like a twin world.
Oh,
to
that's kind of cool.
Ours, although it's much smaller.
Looks good.
It is much smaller, so when you travel over there, 1 mile over there is more like 5 miles in our side.
So it was easier for him to do that. Go back.
But it wasn't exactly easier because of all the issues.
Gotcha.
And I would definitely recommend that as a first book for Stephen King readers. That or The Gunslinger would make a good start too. Yeah, that was a good one. What was your favorite book of all time?
John Green, Paper Towns. I actually have that one sitting in my bathroom right now.
Didn't expect that.
No. Have you read it?
I actually haven't.
I've got it. It's a really good book. The movie that they made for it, it actually follows it pretty well,
Really?
which not a whole lot of book to movie adaptations do
Right.
very well in that regard. It's about a kid who has a best friend who lives across the street from him. The best friend ends up disappearing right before graduation, and he basically has to go on this huge, like, mystery hunt to
Yeah.
figure out where the heck she is, because she keeps leaving tiny little clues behind that lead to where she is, and it's in this. I mean, it's kind of a spoiler, but the reason that the name of the book is Paper Towns is because back in the day, when map makers would make maps, they hid towns that didn't exist in their maps to make sure that people weren't taking their maps and
Right.
using them as their own. That was a way to create a kind of like, hey, yeah, this is mine, and this is how it is mine right here. This town doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's a paper town. And the main character's friend ends up moving to one of these paper towns, and basically has left all these clues to go to that particular place.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, it's a very good read. Have you read anything else by Tom? By John Green?
I have not.
No. There's Looking for Alaska, which was a pretty good one. An Abundance of Catherines, which I never got to read. There's Will Grayson, which he actually read with somebody else. And then Fault in Our Stars, which you should know about at least.
I do know about. I think I tried to watch the movie, but
It's not a very good movie.
it wasn't.
I didn't like it very much. I didn't read that book. I read Looking for Alaska. And I tried to read An Abundance of Catherines, and then I couldn't read that one. But when Paper Towns came out, I was just a teenager at the point, and I was going through a lot in my life.
I think I remember you trying to get me to read that.
Yeah, I still got it.
Still trying to get me to read it.
Hey, I
tell you what, you read The Talisman and I'll read that.
I think you let me borrow it at one point. I don't know what happened to the book. I'm sorry. I think I lost the book. Either that or I had it from somebody else.
You might have had it from somebody else.
I don't think you let me borrow it. Never mind.
And I think what you're thinking of is actually the drawing of the three. That's
No,
book
you-
2 in the Gunslinger.
You didn't let me borrow that one.
I know, but I think that's the book you're thinking of because you had that book
I had
and you had the Gunslinger.
I had the Gunslinger. I read halfway through the Gunslinger. Then it's not that I lost interest. I ended up with something going on in my life, as usual.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the worst book to movie/TV adaptation you've seen?
That's gonna be hands down Eragon.
Aragon.
They basically threw everything away for great graphics. Story was pretty much not present at all. I mean, they had the names right. They had the sorta roles that those characters would play, sorta right. But they just threw everything out the window for the sake of, look how great we can make this dragon fly. It's just, God, so disappointing.
Well, it's not necessarily a book to movie adaptation, but anime to movie adaptation.
Oh God.
Dragon Ball.
Mm.
They made a
Oh.
Dragon Ball
Oh,
movie.
no, we don't talk about
that. Yeah, that's one of my favorite jokes. Is we don't talk about that. Somebody will be like, "Oh, why didn't?" What's the one thing I hear about that? It's something about like, "Hey, did you see that Dragon Ball movie?" We don't talk about that.
Evie, what is your favorite book?
The American Girls mystery books.
Oh yeah.
What happens in those?
It's where there are different girls in each book. Like some of them are like The Secrets in the Hills or stuff like that.
Yeah, but what happens?
Like they solve the mystery at the end and everyone's happy then.
Okay.
Okay. Good books.
When she gets older, she might be into some Sherlock stuff.
Well, I've got the Hardy Boys books that I'm gonna try to get her into pretty soon. She's currently reading Harry Potter.
I haven't read a Hardy's book in a while.
I haven't read them in a long time either, but I still have them.
Those are some good books to start off with.
As a matter of fact, I think those were some of my earliest books when I really started getting into reading.
When it comes down to mystery books, I can't quite remember. I know that I read one of the Sherlock Holmes books that I can't remember the plot, but I remember
Speckled Band?
it had to deal with a snake.
Speckled Band.
Yeah, that's what
They
it was.
made us read that in one of the English classes.
That's right. I was trying to figure out how the heck I read it, but that makes sense now. We also read Holes.
Holes, God, I remember having to read Holes.
Talk about a book to movie adaptation. That is almost word for word.
It really is. I was actually really impressed.
And one thing, like, there was one part of that whole movie that wasn't made from the book. It was that Stanley Yelnats was a chunkier kid at the beginning of the book, and he ended up losing a whole bunch of weight. The director did not want to put Shia LaBeouf in that much stress that early on.
Right. He was still relatively young in that one.
Yeah. And that was a dang good book, a dang good movie.
I agree.
She looks like she's getting tired.
You getting sleepy?
No.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, sure.
You always know a kid is tired when they say no, especially like that.
No. No.
Fix it up, please.
Look it. Please.
Lick it or look it?
Look it.
Oh.
So tell us some more of your favorite books. You read a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
So what else you read?
Mostly little kids books because my mom barely has it. And I read I have to say Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, yeah?
I've read all of the books.
Oh, wow.
Man.
That's
See,
really good.
See, I didn't even know that Little House on the Prairie was a book series up until like 2 years ago.
Wow. You gonna watch the show? Did you know they made it a show?
Mhm. I've seen some of the episodes.
Yeah.
Did
you like it? Yeah.
Mhm.
Were they pretty close to the book?
Books.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like, what about Harry Potter? Is that close to the books? I know you finished the first one and you just watched it.
Yeah, kind of, except for the part where he kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he crumbles at the end.
Yeah.
And they don't have.
That was a bit of.
It's kind of scary.
That was a bit of overkill.
Yeah.
Good point. Very, very
Good call out
He,
right there.
he should only, be, whenever he touched him, get a boil or something. That's all.
Maybe.
In the book, he just.
And
said
in the
it.
book, they had Peeves, but they didn't have him in the movie.
Yeah, I noticed that. Why did they leave Peeves out?
They
Yeah.
left Peeves out of the entire movie series.
Yeah.
Guess what?
He was in the game.
He was.
At the beginning, when the stairs moved, I thought it was Peeves because Peeves made the stair thing move, and then I noticed that it was moving
Oh,
by
yeah?
itself. I wish Peeves were in it. It would be more fun.
But
Yeah.
watching the first one though over again now, what? How many years later? Jeez, almost 20, if not 20.
Not that long.
I think maybe because me and
Hold on.
me and Mr. Daniel Radcliffe were about the same age, and when he started that movie, he was no wait.
They started him at 11.
11, so not quite 20, close to it. 15, 16, probably 16 or 17 years old.
Harry Potter came out in 2001.
2001, so yeah. Right
18
on.
years.
18, so
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
yeah, but for an 18-year-old movie, that stands up very well.
It really does.
Like, I was like, it could be re-released today and still hold up.
Yeah.
It really could.
It's enjoy. I love every time it's on TV. I just kind of have to watch it.
Yeah, it's one of those feel-good movies, even though it's about a kid whose parents, were killed by what is basically the wizard equivalent of Hitler.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, hey, this kid's parents died at the hands of Hitler himself. Let's make a movie about him. Who? The Hitler? No, the kid. That's gonna be a sad movie. So older TV shows. I'm talking back when, our parents were kids. Do you watch very many of those?
No, not really.
Or have you?
I mean, I've seen the original Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh yeah, that's good.
It was actually pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
When
Didn't think I would, but I did.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, there's something about the Duke boys that really kind of get you going. It's odd. My dad's really big into watching like Columbo and Andy Griffith.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, did you know that they made a spin-off of Andy Griffith with Gomer Pyle?
I did not.
Yeah, it was him in the military. I'm pretty sure the name of the show was Private Pyle.
Huh.
Yeah, and he had... It's a very good show. I watched a few episodes with my dad, and it's basically him being as great of a guy as he could in the military as he could. You remember the episode of Futurama where Fry ended up going back in time?
Yes.
He kills his grandfather. They based his grandfather off of Gomer Pyle.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like it was just they made some goofy character. They actually designed him off of Private Pyle.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I do remember every now and again I would watch The Lone Ranger with my grandfather. He's always interested in the old West shows like that.
What are you doing?
Erasing herself from the board.
Oh God, Daddy.
Oh,
Okay, that's
mean.
just creepy.
Oh God, the last person.
Who's
Do you
the
not
last
know my
person?
name?
Who's the last person? Uncle Mark.
Okay, there we go. Jeez, she's
Hog on bone table.
she drew on the whiteboard. She drew all three of us sitting at the table, kind of how we're sitting at the table now.
And there was
And
a
then-
phone. She was drawing the podcast.
And
And she erased us
she
all.
erased us all, like Thanos snapping his fingers.
I'm scared. Oh God.
Have you seen the Avengers movies?
I've seen up to which one was it? Infinity War. After that, I kind of faded out on it.
I'm gonna tell you now. After Infinity War, they
Well, see, I didn't do
hyped up-
Ant-Man either,
They
or Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel was pretty good. It doesn't film
Hog on you guys.
like the rest of the Marvel movies.
Yeah. Hey, settle.
The I don't know what exactly it was about it, but it just didn't feel like one of the normal Marvel movies. But with it being an origin story, I don't think they wanted to make it like a one of the other Marvel movies.
Right.
Very interesting. I really liked it. But yeah, they hyped up the Endgame movie
Yeah.
so hard. It did break a lot of records, and I'm not surprised that it did, but it was not that good of a movie.
Overhyped, huh?
overhyped. Like Infinity War was way better than
Wow.
Endgame was. But
I will say I did like Black Panther. I didn't think I was gonna like that one.
cool thing about Black Panther, somebody from Centerville was, I'm pretty sure, the costume designer.
Wow.
And she got Grammy, Emmy, whatever the heck those kinds of awards are. She got it.
Huh.
A Centerville native. Just somebody hopping and skip from here.
Not bad.
Yeah. And it's
Just
like,
goes to show when you get out of Ohio, you can do anything.
I mean, look at just, Dave Chappelle, man. He ended up getting.
Yeah, but he came back.
Well, I mean, have you seen his house though?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. He doesn't. He does not live in Ohio.
Technically, no. He's got an annex.
Like
He's
it's,
annex part of like California or something.
but he did really well for himself.
Yeah. This one's getting slap happy over here.
Yeah, I know. She needs to get some sleep. Why did she draw hats on our heads?
That's hair.
That's hair. Looks like a hat.
Look at a
With a
giant.
gravity-defying hair.
Look at giant sun, giant magnifying glass. You too.
She's burning us alive now.
Why is she trying to kill us?
I don't know.
Okay. So, final question of the night. If you could take, this is a two-parter. If you could take any book and turn it into a movie and it be the absolute perfect word-for-word matching movie, what would that be?
Oh god, I'm torn. Because I would love to see the Talisman be made. Because I don't think they ever plan on making the Talisman. And honestly, it's a really good book. There's actually a second book to it I didn't know about till not too long ago, which is pretty good in its own right, but doesn't hold up to the Talisman, honestly. I would love to see that, but also I would love to see them actually do the Dark Tower series properly instead of the movie they released. I was
We don't
really
talk about
excited,
that.
and it just
We don't talk about that.
it was not the Dark Tower, man.
And then part two is if you could have a movie or movie series redone so that it matches more of the book, what would it be?
Okay, we'll do the Dark Tower for that one. The Talisman can be.
Talisman could be the first one,
Yeah.
and then Dark Tower for the other one. Okay. So, I had talked about Dragon Ball earlier. I'd probably have that redone
Really?
because technically it being a manga,
Yeah.
it is a book series that was turned into an anime that was turned into a movie we don't talk about. That would be a great.
What movie?
That would be a great redo.
All gone turkey. Death.
She's killing everything.
Certain death.
She's hanging around with you way too much.
I've only had her for a week this time. And I don't even talk about that stuff with her.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point.
I'd like to think I'm a pretty good dad.
I think you are. You're a great dad.
All gone.
Reminds me of the Tata joke.
Yeah. Alright, so now for your two-part question, what book would you love to see word for word turned into a movie?
It's something about mobile thing.
It's a tough one, I know.
It really is because
If it wasn't for the fact that I'm dying for the Talisman to actually exist as a movie, I think it's such a great book that it deserved a place in the movies, but it never happened.
I think A lot of the stuff that I've read has already been turned into a movie,
Right.
but not all of them have been word for word remakes or word for word
Wrong
makes.
little face.
Right.
Must have got it wrong.
Like Hunger Games, that came out.
They didn't do too bad on
They
the
didn't do
movies.
big, no, but there were some things they could have done better.
Some things they could have left out completely. Some things they could have actually included.
Yeah, as with most movies out there. Like that.
Action books are hard to turn into action movies because you just don't have the time. Nobody wants to watch a 3-hour-long movie anymore. Although I wouldn't complain, honestly.
I mean, yeah, there's Bollywood movies that are 6 hours long. So, what the heck, America?
Right. Come on. Get your shit together. What?
One of you is stuck in a huge spider.
I thought that's what I thought that was Spiderweb.
Now, oh god.
Oh. But you never did answer the question.
I don't think I can answer that question. I asked it without an answer in my head. Wait.
Oh, I think we got one, folks.
Considering most of the books that I've read are already movies, there's I can't remember who wrote it. You might know it, but the book is The Pearl.
The Pearl. That sounds very familiar, but I can't think of an
It's
artist.
about this guy who he finds a really a perfect pearl, and he tries to sell it, and the guy is basically trying to tell him that it's worthless, and just try to give it to him for free. And he's like, "Well, I think I'll hold on to it," and it turns into this huge freaking debacle. I really want to say that it's by the same author as the Grapes of Wrath, but I'm not 100% sure on that. You got a Google machine in your pocket, don't you?
Yeah, I just didn't.
Didn't want to look it up.
Look at, I traced this.
Yes, you did.
Now, all gone chain.
Let's see here. It is. Strike Books. John Steinbeck.
John Steinbeck. Isn't that the Grapes of Wrath author?
Do it. Pack it up in
I think
juicy
maybe,
flavor.
I don't know.
Go under yours made of
I'm not a very literary person.
fun.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I thought it was. I wasn't 100% sure.
He also did a book called Tortilla Flat.
Tortilla Flat. That sounds funny.
Sounds like a Mexican movie.
They made a Grapes of Wrath movie. I don't know if they did it.
I can't remember.
Alright, well I guess that just about does it. You wanna say bye, Abby?
Abby, you want to say bye to everybody? You want to say anything to Allison, real quick?
Bye, Allison, if you're listening.
She should listen. She listens to all of these things.
Pretty much.
Well, you pretty much will listen.
Alright. Well, thanks again for listening. Glad to have you around. Hope you enjoyed.
And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye.